All right. We just finished playing Bites. Just missed Deanna's reaction. She thought it was...
Cute little game. I enjoyed it. It was quick. It was easy. I'd like to see what the other cards add to it. Especially since that one had nothing to it.
Nothing at all. Yeah. There are more components here. There is a merchant stand.
Right.
There are logs. There are gold nuggets. And if you take a look at these cards, you can see that
so what would have
for the wine drops, some of these cards tell you that the points are going to be different. If you have one in this one, it'll be worth 5 points. If you have two, it's worth 8. But the more you get, the less they're worth with that one.
Some of these have the
match
the merchant stands.
Yes, this is the special rules cards. So in this one, you're going to put the merchant stand in the trail somewhere between halfway and the three-quarter point. And then if you move an ant past the merchant stand, immediately trade 1 food token from your supply with 1 from the anthill supply.
Because your anthill always has a set here.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that in the rules that there's a stack of food tokens next to the anthill. There's 1 for each kind, and when you move an ant to the anthill, you get to take one of your choice.
The first player to move an ant over a stick must take it. Each stick is worth -2 points.
Yeah, you're going to put sticks along the path. So these cards really change the game and give it a new flavor every time you play. And there is a zebra ant. Now the zebra ant, the way you use this, there's a zebra ant card that if you're playing with, you're going to pick one of the regular ants and you take it out of the game and you replace it with this one. And then when you get to the end, when you put this into the anthill, you replace it again with the original ant. So you know how many points the food is worth. So, yeah, there's a lot of replayability, a lot of variety.
And I know there's also an expansion that goes with it. I'm not sure what it involves, but
okay.
I was made aware of an expansion for it. Might be worth looking into, but I enjoyed it for just a fun, quick game.
It's an abstract strategy.
It is
with this pasted on theme, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I like if you're really aware, you can really get the other player pretty good. Because that's what I did.
She won 55 to 45.
And it was mostly because I planned out to get the green ant to the top when I realized how many green peppers I had, to get him up there first. And then when I realized that the purple one was going to be the last one, the way it worked out, I forced him to move the final grape ant or the purple ant onto a grape so that the next set of grapes was positioned so that there was a pepper before and a pepper after it. And so when I got to move the purple ant to that grape, it was over here like this. I also had a chocolate bar in my possession. And so I was able to get the pepper before and the pepper after it. So that gave me 8 points right there in one move. And allowed me to, of course, win. I was already ahead by a little bit, but...
Of course win.
Of course win.
Of course win.
Well, we've already established that I won. So, it was fun. You're not going to eat all the... fruit and vegetables.
Yeah, it was a very simple game. It's not something you could take to a restaurant or play somewhere, even though it's quick playing and everything, because it is a table hog, man. These tiles go from one side all the way to the other, and the first time I laid them out, there wasn't enough room. I had to go back and make the little arcs tighter so it would fit. And they tell you to play a better game, you get 2 copies of this game. or you can buy
Oh.
just a set of double food tokens, which is what you need, and it's with double the food.
Oh, wow.
So
it would make for a little bit longer, and I think if you were playing more people, that might be worth doing. If you're playing with a large group of people.
So there's very fine print on some of those cards that will tell you what to do if you're playing with they call it double bites game.
Oh, okay. Huh. I think there's still another copy on sale.
Now, I want to point out that I saw this come out, and Tom Vassell reviewed it, and I thought, well, that looks an awful lot like a game I already have, so I didn't bother with it, called Tutankhamun. Okay, so this is an Egyptian-themed game, and I'll just show you the picture on the back, but you can see that at the end, there's not an anthill, there's a pyramid. But then you still have these tiles in this winding, snake-like pattern. And so I saw this one, and I thought, I mean, how many games can you play that are all, the same? I haven't played Tutankhamun in years. So I'm going to have to try. I'll put it on the shelf later. So I'll have to try Tutankhamun again and see how similar it is to this game. Because if it is very similar, I think I'm going to get rid of it. Because this game with the different cards, that variability is a lot more. And this doesn't have any variability in it at all. I remember that. The game is what it is. And so if it is similar, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that and just hang on to bites.
This is more of a family-friendly game. I don't think.
That one is too.
But it's not something that kids are going to want to play. This is very vibrant, very cutesy, much more playable with young kids.
Well, with bites, you're pairing up colors, and in Tutankhamun, you were matching up symbols. If I can get this thing out of here, it's got a cool. It's a plastic pyramid. I'm trying to. Anyway, maybe you can see a little bit. Now you can see like a little guy on there. I can't get these out of here, but there are. If I show you maybe the back of the box, there are different kinds of icons. It's blurry on these, and you're matching those up instead of the colors. All right, so it was also a very simple game, but
that's why I said this one's more family, like for kids. Would be more friendly for kids. It would be more.
Well, to be honest with you, from what I remember, I think Bites is more fun.
Mm-hmm. I can see where it would be, especially with those cards.
You see, the only reason I hung on to Tutankhamun, what I remember is it was kind of a boring game. Mm-hmm. I hung on to it because it's part of a little series here with another one called Gold Digger. And I like Gold Digger, and I'm kind of a person for hanging on to a series. And I didn't want to get rid of it for that reason. So I'll have to try that one again, but if it is a little lackluster, I'm going to get rid of it, and we'll just hold on to this one.
The cards make this an enjoyable game for adults.
Oh, yeah.
They can think more three-dimensionally, I guess, than what a lot of kids could. And the cards give it a twist that the adults would enjoy, and the simplicity of it, the kids can enjoy. So for a family game, I think this one's great.
Okay. Rating time.
I'd give it about a 7.
A 7? And I'll give it a 6.
So,
I'm not, abstracts are not one of my things, but
no, they aren't.
This was all right. I'll give it a 6. A 5 would have been just fine, just average. I guess it's sort of dipping down towards bad. I actually, if you well, it's a 4. It wasn't really that great, but I don't know. I give it a 6. So what we have decided is we're going to give a game the badge of honor. If I rate it at least an 8 or higher, and Deanna rates it an 8 or higher, we're going to call that game the Real McCoy.
This one didn't quite measure up to the Real McCoy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's worth the price we got it for, and having young family members that might eventually come over and play. It's something I
or it's not a super brain burning game. It can be, I think, from what I I was moving my red. Well, nobody owns an ant, but I was moving the red one at first, and then I realized, hey, if I can get this red ant in first, then I know I can control the points on that,
right?
And it'll be worth 5. So I started moving him up. I was halfway to 3/4 of the way up this little trail when I looked down here and saw I only had 1 apple. So I thought, well, I'm going to get that to the top. My 1 apple will be worth 5 points. But I had 3 grape. And I said, well, wait a minute. Maybe I should be trying to get the purple ant. But here's the way he was in the back, at the back. But here's the way this works. It doesn't matter if I move the green ant all the way up there, and it became see, whichever ant you get into the ant hill, it can never take a food of its own color. So I'm moving the red ant, moving them all the way. You know why I didn't have any but 1? Because the red ant can't get red apples.
He can't get red apples unless there is a red apple.
Somebody else has to get them. So you could really think this through, trying to figure out how to. I'm going to have to get 2 ants working together, but you can't because other players are going to be moving them, and you're at the mercy of that.
To those who are prone to analysis paralysis, I could see you getting stuck in that.
Yeah, and the more players, the more luck, because you don't have any. So if you sat there and tried to think it out, I think it would be for just a waste of time, because by the time it gets back to you, how many players does this game support?
It supports 2 to 5.
Okay, so 5. That's a lot of people. 4 other people to move ants before it gets back to you?
It says it plays in 20 minutes. Yeah, playing 2 people is way different than if you were playing 4 or 5. I can see where you would want more pieces if you were playing more people.
Okay. So I guess you may take a look at getting the extra set. It's in the instructions. There's a website you can go to and buy just a second set of food tokens. And then you could play double bites.
I could probably find the whole game just as cheap.
Maybe.
I'd like to play with the farm stand or whatever they're called.
The I want to say merchant stand. Is that what it was called? Yeah.
Yes, there's a merchant stand.
And it's got these 2 big
rocks.
Well, those are nuggets, gold nuggets. And I mean, that's pretty blah. I think I'd rather just go get 2 plastic gold nuggets that we've got.
You could definitely
You don't want to say it. In board gaming, there is a phrase. When you take something, this would be a perfect example.
Sticks.
Okay, so this is supposed to be a gold nugget. I could say, let's get rid of the cardboard and let's get a gold nugget and put it in the game. Yeah, these are logs or sticks. So you could get maybe an acrylic stick. I don't know if you want to get a real one. You could, I guess. But that's called pimping your game out. Pimping it out. So she wanted to say it, but she didn't want to say it on camera.
I was trying not to say it.
Pimp out your game. That's what that means.
You might be able to find a cutesy little farm stand or whatever they're called, produce stand at Hobby Lobby for the little doll houses.
Yeah. And they wouldn't be cardboard. They'd look a little better.
They'd look a little cuter.
Now, here's one thing. The anthill. You have to assemble this every time you play the game. And disassemble it every time. Yes. That can be a pain. And the more you fit cardboard pieces together, the more they break apart. So I would worry about that. First of all, anytime you got to assemble something is a pain. This one really wasn't. I could put that together very quickly, and so that wasn't an issue, but it may get damaged the more you play with it.
And if you're a bit on the OCD side, it does assemble cockeyed. It's meant to not be
it's not
a symmetrical anthill. And at first that weirded me out the first time I put it together. But then I realized, it's not supposed to be like that, because how many anthills are actually symmetrical? So, don't let your OCD get the better of you with that one.
That could have been a card or a little board that they put up here, and it could have said 1, 2, 3, and you could have just put your ant there. But
I like the 3D.
3D stuff is always cool.
I think if you could like.
I like plastic 3D stuff.
I was gonna say if there was a way that you could get this 3D printed and put it, you know,
collapsible, like so that you push on this and it all comes down,
or that it was even stackable.
Yeah,
almost like a Lego thing. It might.
Yeah. But, okay.
It was fun.
Well, that's it for our edition of our board gaming weekend bites. So next week is my turn once again. I don't know what I'll pick, but once again, we're still at the very end of school. I'm done. My seniors are gone. Deanna still has students.
And
for how much longer?
Of paperwork, 9 days.
Okay, so another
9 days and about
so one more week.
Conferences, so.
Deanna's still dealing with school stuff that she's trying to do on the weekend. So I will pick another quick kind of a game. And after that, I think we are free to pick whatever we want. There are some games here that take 2-3 hours to play. And this summer, maybe we'll see some of those. All right. We're done.